Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know if you can hear me. This is my first time doing the YouTube live, so I just want to make sure everybody can hear me. We just started, Leanne. We just started. Thank you everybody for joining me this evening on Cricut UK's YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be making some Christmas ornaments from paper. If you don't know me, my name is Roisin and I am the face behind Sweet Eve Designs. You can find me on Instagram, you can find me on YouTube, whatever different platforms, you can find me there. And I specialize in paper crafting. So let me know where you're joining from. Is this your first time joining us on a YouTube live? The great thing about our YouTube lives is that they will save, so you can watch this back anytime that you want. And we've got some fabulous tutorials that have taken place with other crafters, so please go back on the channel and have a look at some of those live streams. My camera is covered. Okay, sorry, I've got my light on. Is that better, Amelia? Thank you. I did see a slight shadow. Let me know, Amelia, if that's okay, if that's a bit better. Right. So perfect. Okay, excellent. I'm using my fancy light today because I'm in the corner of my dining room and the light here is absolutely shocking. So my cousin takes amazing selfies on her phone and she had this amazing light. And I said, where did you get that from? So I'm trying it out today and it's working quite well. So yeah, let me know where you're joining from. Let us know if you're new to Cricut, if you are a pro, if you've got your machine but you haven't taken it out of the box. Let us know. We are here to help. I've got Amelia Very Crafty in the comments today. She is going to be helping me with answering any of your questions and just keeping the live going. So if you've got any questions, please put them in the chat and we will try our best to yes, I did all the messages, Amelia. I did all the messages. I'll just double check. Filter all messages. Yes, so we've got all the messages, so we should be able to see everybody's comments as they come through, and we will be answering any of your questions. So today we are going to be making a Christmas bauble from paper. Well, I'm going to do it in two different styles, but I'm going to tell you how you can do it in 3 different ways, depending on what materials you have and, you know, how confident you feel on your Cricut. So there'll be like a beginner friendly, and then some more different options. So this is what we're going to be making today, but we're going to make a slightly different version together. And then I'll show you how to make this one as well. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So let's, oh, I've just realized, right. So let's use our Cricut because I know so many of you will want to see. So I am going to be using, oh, sorry, my camera's gone a bit down. Oh, and I'm frozen. Hope you guys can still see me. Sorry, we've got some tech issues. We're not doing very well today with our tech. Bear with me, sorry. My camera has come completely off of the tripod, but I think that this light is maybe a little bit too heavy for my tripod, so it's going down throughout the live, which is not the best. Sorry, let me know. Can you see me now? Technology, we'll make it work. Okay, so let me move back a bit. Might be a bit better for you guys. So we are going to be using our Joy Extra today, but you can make this on any of our Cricut machines, our Joy, Joy Extra, Explore, Maker, any of them you can make it on. But today, oh, sorry, I'm going to try and tighten you guys up a tad. And hopefully you can see me a bit better. I might just, bear with me a second. So sorry, guys. We're not doing very well. I might have to just take this light off. I think it doesn't like the light. I'll put the light somewhere else.
I didn't catch that. Good.
Right. Okay, I've moved my light, guys. Sorry, it was bringing my camera down. So we are going to cut something out together. So I'm actually going to be making this in a different way to the way that I originally showed you. So what we're going to have is we're going to create this floating snowflake effect. So this snowflake only has one layer, but I'm going to cut out a snowflake that has 2 layers. So I want you guys to let me know if you want me to cut out the snowflake in, I've got 2 options for you. We have a white glitter or a light blue glitter. So let me know in the comments which color you would like. I would do a poll, Amelia, but I'm worried that my camera's gonna drop, so I'm not gonna attempt it. But let me know, light blue or white, which are obviously both perfect for Christmas. So let me know in the comments, and then Amelia is gonna count for us and let us know which color we decided to go with. Blue, blue. Light blue. I get my card from lots of different places. You can check out my Amazon storefront. Most of the card I get is from Amazon, but also Hobbycraft and other kind of local craft stores as well. What do we think? Looks like light blue. Okay, perfect. So we're going to cut out our cardstock, and I am going to use my brayer, my beloved brayer. Are we still doing brayer praise? If you haven't got one of these, put it on your Christmas list and ask Santa for one. It just really helps your cardstock or vinyl, whatever you're using, to adhere to the mat. So we're gonna feed this in, and this machine is so great because it's quite a small machine, but it also does print and cut. So it's really good if you've got a small space, or if you've got a teenager that loves crafting. My teenager absolutely loves crafting, so he crafts quite a lot, and he has a Joy, and Joy Extra is absolutely perfect. So I'm gonna just tell my program to cut, and it's gonna do all the cutting out for me. And while we're doing that, we're gonna assemble our star. So effectively, you're gonna build your star like this, which is just different layers of cardstock on top of one another. So I've already done one side, and we're gonna do the other side together, and then we're gonna put them back to back. Now, if you don't want your ornament to be double-sided, you just want it to be single-sided, you can definitely just do one side. But I like the idea of it having it on both sides, so I'm gonna do it double-sided. So you can see this one is double-sided, but you could just do the front and it would be absolutely fine. So it's completely up to you if you wanna cut both out or not. So to put together our star, we are going to use a combination of glue and foam pads or foam stickers, and you can see all of the different layers here. So I cut this cake topper again today in a different color because I'm going to make another version later on, and I made it in less than 20 minutes. It looks like a lot of layers, but you're cutting out quite a few layers, but it's the same colors. So this is a really good starter project. You can also get a version where I've contoured out the circle, so the back is just a flat shape. So if you're not feeling confident with working with acetate or doing a shaker, you can completely just have the backing as a whole shape. And again, it's a really, really quick and lovely project. And people really appreciate, every year I make handmade decorations, and I always give them to friends and family members, and they always really, really like them. So I'm going to have a look and see if I've got any comments, if any questions. I know someone asked about the cardstock. I don't think I've missed any. So we're going to stick our first layer and our second layer together. And what I will say is that it's a bit of a jigsaw puzzle. So you kind of have to move the 2 shapes around until you find the exact right spot. And when it lands in the right place, you will know, because the points of the stars are not exactly symmetrical, but as you go through, it will definitely make more sense. So I'm just going to grab some glue, and this first layer is like a holographic cardstock, which is very, very Christmassy. So let me know in the comments, what have you been making for Christmas? What do you plan to make for Christmas? I know we've had some amazing advent calendar ideas. Christmas stockings are always a great one. Christmas cards, of course. Or do you think it's the, what is it, the 20th of? It's the 20th of November. It's too early to talk about Christmas. Let me know what you've been making or what you plan to make on your Cricut for Christmas. So I've just put my thin layer of glue on, and then I'm just gonna make sure I've got my star in the right place. It can be deceptive. Sometimes you look and you think, oh, I've got it right, but actually it's not quite aligned. I think I'm just going to keep turning it until I feel like I've got it in the right place. So this looks right to me. So this is the first layer. On the second layer, this is a glitter cardstock, so it doesn't always like glue. But you can see how easy that was. And then for the remaining layers, we are going to use foam stickers. And what you'll find by doing that is I did it with and without. And without, it definitely looks nice. But with the foam stickers, it creates almost this dimension. So you can kind of see this layer at the back is kind of behind, and then it goes up. And it really just means that the light catches the different layers, and it just looks so much more three-dimensional. So if you can get your hands on some foam pads or foam stickers, I would always suggest using them when you're working with cardstock. I'm going to unload my mat, and I'm going to quickly just show you how to carefully remove any material, but in particular cardstock. You want to flip your mat over. If you pull the material up this way, there's a risk that whatever material you're using will kind of curl up, and we don't want that. So I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to pull my mat back. And my mat is sticky, guys. Last time I was on live, I had a not so sticky mat, but this time I've made sure I've got a brand new mat. So it's sticky, and it's really just going to do the job for me today. And because it's so sticky, it's actually sticking to my table because it's so sticky. So, and then it's taken the main part of the cardstock off, and then I'm just going to pull off my little snowflakes. And I'll just show you these quickly. Some of the little parts just need to be pulled out. But you can see my little snowflake. This would be great for like table confetti. You can put it inside of cards. You can put it inside of your Christmas stockings. There's lots of things that you can do with your Cricut machine. So I'll show you what we're going to do with that afterwards. I'm going to put that somewhere safely. So now we're going to build up the rest of our layers. So it's literally 4 layers. That's it. 4 layers creates this, plus the circle on the front. So I'm going to grab my foam pads, which just have a bit hard to show you, but they have a bit of height. So it just means that your cardstock layers up nicely. Window stickers. Oh, that would be pretty cool. I do know, Amelia, they do Cricut do window there's a window, some sort of window material that Cricut does, but you could it could be like a sun catcher. You could definitely put that in your window. You could hang it on your front door. There's lots of, you could make it massive, and it could be like a wreath that you put on your front door. So there's so many different options. Window cling, I think it's called. So I've got my foam pads on, and you can see I'm just putting one in each corner of a star. It's a really great way to show how to use foam pads, actually, because the distribution of the foam pads is quite nice on this shape. So, no, I've done it the wrong way. I need to add it to the white layer. You'll see why in a second. I've added it to the wrong side. So when you add it to the white layer, each time I use the contouring tool. So each time I closed out part of the shape, and that's how you create the layers. So you have to stick them down in the correct order, otherwise you will not get the effect that you're going for. So I'm just, again, doing my puzzle, Trying to work out exactly where to stick this down. So that's my next layer. So you can see now where there's no colour, when the next layer goes behind, then that will be covered, and then the whole shape will be covered apart from this little circle. I need a Cricut machine. I want to get crafting so bad now that I'm away from it. Yes, do it. Do it, Bunsey. Get a Cricut machine. I'm telling you, it's great for your mental health, great for your creativity. You know, really, don't let anybody discourage you. You can do it. Definitely, you can do it. And it's a great time because we know we've got our Black Friday coming up. So many great deals on at the moment for Cricut machines. So it's a really great time. If you're considering getting a machine, it's a great time to do so. %, it's a lifeline. It's honestly, I do create for, you know, for my well-being, and it's something that's just for me. I'm a mum, I'm a wife, I have a full-time job, and you know, I'm always doing things for other people, and Cricut is my thing, you know. It really is a really great outlet for me. So even if, you know, you don't want to get a Cricut to start a business, you just want to get it to make things for your friends and family or for yourself, I would totally say go for it. It's a worthwhile investment. So I'm again just doing my jigsaw, trying to work out exactly where this goes. And so here we go. Well, depending on how you want your star to go. And then lastly, I'm just going to add on this circle. And then that is the main part of our, I keep wanting to say cake topper, the main part of our ornament done. And as I said, if you didn't feel confident with using acetate that I'm going to show you, or doing the bauble, you could literally, I haven't got a piece of cardstock, but you would literally just make another star, which I have on the design, and you'd stick it on the back like that. So that way you would still have all of these lovely layers, and you could put like a really fancy, nice cardstock in the middle. So that's that done. So we've got 2 of these. Now, what we're going to do, I have got these baubles from Hobbycraft. I think I've actually bought these a few years ago. And I found them in my shed when I was looking through my Christmas decorations. But you can find them on Amazon. They come in lots of different sizes. So if you want to make this design, you might need to slightly resize it depending on the size of your baubles. These are about 2.3 inches, I think. But I'll show you what you want to do. You want to make sure that your bauble sits flush on your... it sits as flush as possible. I don't know if you can see that, but it's right against that, because that's going to help it to stick together and not have a massive gap in between. So if you're resizing, you might just need to cut that back shape out a couple of times to get it right. But on the whole, this is kind of your average size bauble. So what we're going to do, which is a new thing for me, is we're going to create a spinning effect like this inside. And we're going to add some shaker bits. Now, I made this to practice, and what I noticed I had done, I put the hot glue right in the opening and the closing part of the bauble, if that makes sense. So it goes together in 2 parts, and they kind of come together like this. Now, because I put the hot glue right where it closes on both sides, it wouldn't close flush. It wasn't a massive issue. I could have just put a bit of hot glue around it. But I think now when I remake it for you guys, I'm just going to place the glue in a slightly different place. So I love these baubles. I'll show you afterwards, if we have time, a few other cake toppers. I have used them for cake toppers. A few other ornaments I've made using these baubles, and they're super cheap. Like, I don't know, maybe £3 or £4 for that whole pack of baubles. So it's a really good value for money. So what we're going to do is, as I said, we have 2 snowflakes. We have 2 snowflakes here. So I've got the snowflakes, that's the base of the snowflakes, and then I've got the top part of the snowflake. So I'm literally just going to, again, use my glue and attach attach both of the layers together. And it's a bit more straightforward, this, when you're trying to, because it's a completely symmetrical shape. So that is the 2 layers together. I don't know if you guys can see. The back part is like a really light blue mirror and the front part is a glitter mirror. So they really complement one another. So I'm going to go over to my mat and I'm going to grab my other snowflake. Oops. And my mat is so sticky. It's literally sticking to my table. So I'm just going to repeat the same. Now, this part is a tad fiddly, but just be patient with yourself and we can make it work. So maybe a couple of weeks ago, I made a spinning, got one up here actually. I made a spinning card. So it's the same concept of using the invisible thread to create the spinning effect. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that now. And you could change what you put inside. You could put a little Santa head. You could do a snowman. Anything Christmassy. You could put a little Christmas tree. You don't have to have a snowflake. I just went with a snowflake because it's quite straightforward and simple and pretty. So that's our second part. So you'll see you'll have 2 that will go together. So when it spins, you will always see the side that you want to see. So we're going to grab a bauble. My bauble seems to have escaped. It dropped on the floor. Oh, here it is. And we're gonna grab our invisible thread. You guys probably won't be able to see because it is invisible, but this is the invisible thread. Again, you can find this on Amazon. You can get it in craft stores. And what we're gonna do is we're not gonna cut it from the actual main, what's this called? Spindle. That's probably not the right word. We're not going to cut it from here. We're going to keep it as long as possible. We want to keep it longer on the end because we're going to stick it down here onto our bauble and we want it to be very flush. We want it to be flush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put hot glue at the top of this ring, not here where it connects with the other part, but at the top. I hope that makes sense. So I'm just going to put some hot glue there. And then I'm going to put some hot glue at the bottom of the bauble, but not at the part where it connects. Now, this is my second time doing this, so I'm hoping that it's going to go to plan. I'm going to grab it. It's a bit hard because it moves a little bit, but just the hot glue takes a while to dry. So you've got a little bit of time to kind of manipulate it. And I'm just going to hold it until I know it's definitely dry. So, yeah, it's not exactly centered, but it's fine. I'm not going to be too precise. Then I'm going to grab my scissors. And this is where you can just cut off the end and the bottom. So it might be hard for you to see, but there is actually a little bit of string here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Now I'm going to go in with my first snowflake. I'm going to use some hot glue and I'm going to stick it. Put the hot glue directly onto your snowflake, not onto your string, because it just gives you a bit more control. I'm going to put it on here and I'm just going to hold it for a second until I know that it's completely dry. Okay, then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to add hot glue on the other side, and then I'm going to add my other snowflake. Just take your time with it, don't rush. Might not be exactly perfect, but nobody is going to notice that. You've got a little bit of time to kind of readjust it and get it where you want it to be. So now you can see that my little guys Very cute and spinny. So what I'm going to do now, it's an optional step, but I'm going to, oh, I did prepare some shaker mix earlier. Oh yeah, it's in here. I am going to just add a few little bits of shaker bits, so sequins and little snowflakes and snowballs, and I'm going to put them in the bottom. And then I'm going to add on the rest of my bauble, which does sit nicely together now because I didn't put the glue and the opening. So that is the bauble. You can see, spins round, it's really pretty. Now I'm just going to add my star. Literally, I just use some hot glue, and think about the point of your star. So you can kind of see here, you know, you probably want that to be the top of your star. So you're going to stick like this with some hot glue. So I'm literally going to get some hot glue. I'm going to put it around the edge of the circle. And then I'm going to stick in my bauble. So I'm just going to add a little bit more around the edge, and I'm going to wait for that to dry. And then I'll do the same on the other side. No, don't worry, Hannah. You have, I mean, we are nearly finished, but you can watch this YouTube back. It will take a little bit of time to upload, but it should be on Cricut UK's YouTube channel tomorrow. So if you've missed anything, or you want to go back and watch it because you want to make this at home and you want to kind of go back through the steps, you can definitely do that. So I'm going to get more hot glue, and then I'm going to add this on the other side, the other star. Just make sure that it's symmetrical, as in when you stick the back down, it's the right star, if that makes sense. So here you go. Here is our beautiful Christmas bauble. And here's the other version. Here's the other version, which is with the flat shaker, and this is with the bauble shaker. Now, I'm going to show you how to do the flat shaker very quickly. It's very, very simple. And it's great if you kind of want to try something a bit different. So I've made this in more traditional colours. I ran out of this light green cardstock. I was really disappointed, so I had to cut it out in a different green, but I'll just make sure that this is my front. So, acetate. These are your 2 bits of acetate. I get so many questions about acetate. I have a video from around Valentine's Day last year that talks about acetate. What is acetate? What different types of acetate are there? How do you cut acetate on different machines? What blades do you use, etc., etc. You can find all of that on that video, because I get asked this a lot. But effectively, Cricut have their own brand of acetate, and it cuts beautifully on a Cricut machine because it's designed for Cricut. So I would recommend looking for Cricut acetate, because there's an acetate setting, and it will just cut out your Cricut acetate, whether you're using a Joy Extra, Explore, or Maker. So that's the most simplest answer. Just use the Cricut acetate. But if you're using acetate of different thicknesses, then you know you're going to have to mess around a bit with the settings. So all we do to make our shaker, I've got these strips, foam strips, or your foam roll, and you literally go around your first circle. Make sure that you leave the protective cover on. You might have to cut another small bit, which I will have to because this is slightly longer. And just make sure whenever you're making any type of shaker that it completely closes. So I've cut this too short. You want to make sure that there are no gaps in your foam, otherwise whatever you're putting inside will try to escape, which we don't want. So let me just show you. So you can see here, this is the acetate. You can't see because it's see-through. And I'm literally going around. It doesn't have to be neat at all. It doesn't have to be neat. It just has to cover the acetate. And that's what you want. Then you go in and you add in your whatever you want. I've got some holly. These are just like little sequins. You can get them in most craft stores. And you add that in. Then very, very slowly remove your cover from your foam. Just take your time with this bit. Get your other part of your acetate and add it on top. Try the best that you can to line it up, but again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I normally use my brayer to seal the shape. So this is my shaker. Look how easy that was. People feel very intimidated by them, but it's literally either you use a piece of card on the back and acetate on the front, or 2 bits of acetate and you're done. Then I'm literally just going to use hot glue and stick this to the backing with hot glue. So we'll do that quickly now. And I was determined to not significantly overrun today. And I'm quite proud of myself because I'm pretty much done. So I've stuck that down straight onto my front of my shaker. And then before you get the hot glue out again, just make sure you're lining up your second part that goes on the back correctly so that it's symmetrical. Because what you don't want is to put the hot glue and then you're trying to do the puzzle and then you don't have enough time. So I think that that's correct. I'm going to go in again. I'm going to put hot glue just around the outside of my shaker. And then I'm going to add this on. Now you can see a little bit of my foam tape here. Hardly you can see it. But if you try and stick it as much as you can to the edge of the shaker, then you're less likely to be able to see your foam sticker sitting through. So that is the other version, which is more straightforward. And as I said, you could do another layer, which is just a full piece of card, star cut out without the circle, and put that on the back. If you don't have acetate, or you don't have the baubles, or you don't feel confident, you can do that and you would have an absolutely lovely bauble. Now we'll add the ribbons quickly. I just have some really cheap ribbon. I think I got this from the Works. Not the Works, the Range, probably about 80p. I'm gonna cut my my ribbon, and then you can decide where you want your ribbon, how you want your ribbon to sit, and then you can just kind of put it in between using hot glue. So I'm going to put the hot glue first onto the cardstock, and then I'm going to add the ribbon on, rather than doing it the other way. I find that that just works a little bit easier. And then you just want to make sure when you're adding the ribbon that you're doing it on the same layers of the cardstock, if that makes sense, so that it just sits a bit more flush. So I'll let that dry for a second, and I'll do the same with my green one. The green one is, I'm using a slightly thinner ribbon. It's just what I have at home. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add hot glue on one side. And you can decide, you know, how big you want your ribbon to be. You might, you know, want it to hang in a particular way. So that is my second one. So whilst that one is drying, I'm going to show you my two different versions of this ornament, and you let me know which one. Sorry, I've got loads of glue strings, but which one do you prefer? Do you like the flat shaker, or do you like the Bauble, 3D Bauble? And if anyone could be as so kind as to take a screenshot for me so I can I can put it on my stories, that would be fantabulous. Amelia, if you can, I don't know if you can take a screenshot, that would be great for me. But let me know, which one do you prefer? Flat or the 3D one? And then we need to decide if we prefer your traditional Christmas colours or your winter wonderland. Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer your traditional colours or your winter wonderland colours? And I'm going to be, I always send, every year I send my aunt in Ireland a Christmas. I always send her a homemade Christmas card, and I always send her a homemade bauble. So she'll get a matching set. So I'll probably send her this Christmas card and this bauble. And then somebody else will get this Christmas card and this bauble. So it's like matching. I mean, it's something they can put on their tree, and I put one on my tree every year. So every year I put the date on it, and then I add to my tree each year. So you can find this design. I will make this design available on my Cricut Design Space profile. If you have any issues with making it, if you're confused about anything, please just send me a DM, and I will try my best to help you. I hope that this has inspired you to get creative for Christmas. And we have got another live tomorrow. You're lucky, in November we're having 3 lives every week. So tomorrow on another platform, Amelia will put the details in the comments. We are going to be having a live from Amelia, very crafty, about engraving. It's something I don't know very much about, so I'm really excited. On your Maker Free, you can engrave things. So Amelia's going to be showing us how to use the engraving tool. Great for Christmas baubles. You can engrave them. You can engrave so many things. But again, I think it's one of those things that people are a little bit frightened of. So we're going to take you through it step by step. So please join us tomorrow. You can find all the information about that live on Cricut UK's Instagram stories and also in the chat. Thank you so much for joining me. This live will be saved so you can come back and watch it. Please make sure to subscribe to our channel on Cricut UK's channel so that you get notifications every single time that we're live. And please like and comment on our videos to help get us out there so more people can find out about Cricut. So thank you, everybody. And I will see you soon. And I'll put these up on my Christmas tree. When my Christmas tree is up, which will not be until the first weekend of December, I'm sorry. I'll put some pictures on my Instagram stories of my lovely baubles. Right, guys, thank you so much for your time. Take care, and I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.